Hey everyone, and welcome to September's TBR Assemble Magical Readathon edition. If you don't know what TBR Assemble is, I'll leave a link up above to my original video where I do the full explanation, but it is essentially my Avengers based TBR game, and this month it's also going to fit the prompts for the Necromancy career in the Magical Readathon. So let's get rolling and get right into it. Today we're going to be using a Scarlet Witch because we are in the month of Coven of Chaos and I don't have an Agatha, and we're going to be starting on 37, which is where we were last time. Let's go roll number 1, which is a 1. Okay then. So, 1 across, that is yellow Mind Stone Own Voices. Right, let's see, I'm going to go this side to this clump here, and I think I'm going to go for this one. Legion, a book with hair-raising scenes. Gonna have a think on this, but I'm sure I'll figure something out. My first roll was Legion, which is an Own Voices book with hair-raising scenes, so I'm going for We Hunt the Flame by Hafsa Faisal. This is going to be my audiobook for the month, and I can't quite remember what this one's about. It just says, people lived because she killed, people died because he lived, if I remember right. It's something along those lines, and I've forgotten exactly what it's about, but I've had it on my TBR for absolutely forever now, and I do think it is going to have some kind of hair-raising scenes in there and things like this, so I'm counting for that prompt, and it is also counting for the O in Restoration prompt as well. Roll number 2 is a 6, so that is going this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's another Own Voices. Okay then. And I'm going to go over here. Cersei, start a new series. Can definitely do that one. I've got a lot of series I want to read. My next prompt was Cersei, which is to start a new Own Voices series, so I'm going for Patrick Ness's The Knife of Letting Go. I have heard amazing things about this book over time. I just haven't read it yet for no apparent reason, so it's about time I did. It's all about Todd, who lives in a world where essentially everyone can read everybody else's minds, this kind of thing, and then one day he stumbles across a patch of land that is completely silent, which just sounds really intriguing to me. I've had this on my TBR for the longest time. It's on my priority list for the year, so I'm very excited to finally be getting to this, and it is also going to be counting for the Q prompt in Conjuration. Roll number 3 is a 5, so which way is that going? It's going that way, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fan fiction, brilliant, love fan fiction. Roll number 4 is another 1, so we go across 1. That is the Reality Stone with the retellings. I'm going to go here. Agent May, a lesser known retelling. I'll have to think on that one. The next prompt was Agent May, which is a lesser known retelling, so I've gone for Mina and the Undead by Amy McCall, and I know this is not a retelling. I definitely know it. I'll put my hands up and saying I know it's not a retelling, but it does have retelling elements to it, in the sense that it's a book about vampires, and it starts in the same place where Dracula was set, and then it goes off to New Orleans, which is where Interview with the Vampire is set, and then also it's dealing with like talking about those things. It's also about vampires, and let's be honest, all vampire books are kind of retellings on that vampire myth, so I'm kind of stretching it, but I did have to because I needed something for the O in Conjuration, which is a book with bats on the cover, and this has got 7 on them, so I kind of had to go for it because I had nothing else. So I just kind of shoved the prompts together and went, it's my TBR game, I can decide how the prompts fit to the books, and that's what I'm doing this month because I got desperate, and I also just really wanted to read this because I've been watching Interview with a Vampire recently and absolutely just becoming obsessed with it, to be honest, and I just want more vampires in my life, and this is where the vampires are, so I went for it. I know it's not a retelling, but it's my TBR game. I'm just kind of counting it at this point and moving on because I'm not going to try and justify myself further because it's my TBR game. Roll number 5 is a 5, appropriately enough, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Fantasy for the Power Stone. Come on. Give me something good. I'm going to go this side. Kingo, a fun book. Oh, I love that prompt. Love that prompt. My next prompt was Kingo, which was to read a fun fantasy book, so I'm going for the next book in the Amari and the Night Brothers series. I don't know what this one's about specifically, but the whole series itself is kind of like a supernatural fantasy take on Men in Black. I absolutely adore it. I've been waiting for the next book to come out, and I am so excited that it's finally coming out. And it is also now going to be counting for the O in demonology, because I've had to swap out that prompt for the last book I bought, because I literally don't know anybody who doesn't read, so I couldn't actually do that original prompt, so I've just used some of my guild points and swapped it out for the last book I bought, which was the third book in the Amari series. Then my final roll is a 5 again, so that is up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more own voices. Okay then, let's go this one here, and that is America Chavez, set in a different universe. And then my final prompt was America Chavez, which is to read an own voices book set in a different universe, so I've gone for The Maid and the Crocodile by Jordan Ifueko. This is the next one in the Raybearer series. It's not about the same characters, I don't think, it's just set in the same universe, and I am so excited about this one because I have loved the Raybearer series and I'm so excited to be back in the world again. I think this one's got Beauty and the Beast elements to it as well, which is just ridiculously exciting as well, so I'm really excited for this. And it is also counting for the O prompt in spells and incantations. As for my Gwenpool prompt for the month, it was Agatha Harkness, which is to obviously read a book about Agatha so you don't miss a trick. So I'm going to be reading all of these Agatha comics. I don't know which one specifically I'm going to be using for this prompt, but I do know that I'm going to be reading a lot of Agatha this month and into next month as well. So these are the comics I'm going to be reading for that. Then I have 2 more prompts to fulfill for the Magical Readathon. The first one is the Q level in Spells and Incantations, which is a book shown in any of G's videos, which is The Lies of Loch Lamora by Scott Lynch, because I'm 90% sure I have seen her talk about this book. If not, I will just read this book anyway, and I'll be using more guild points to swap it out for the oldest book on my TBR, because I've owned this book for a really long time. It's about time I read it. I know it's about thieves and pirates, if I remember rightly, and I've recently seen Hannah from Lad AM absolutely raving about this book, so it's about time I read it because she's just completely sold me on it all over again, so I'm going to give it a go. And then finally there is the D in Conjuration, which was to read a book with a map, so I've gone for Pages & Co, Tilly and the Map of Stories. I know there's not an actual map printed in the front covers of it, I've checked, but it is in the title, and I'm guessing the story is going to be revolving around a map of stories, so I am counting it because I just really wanted an easy read this month. I'm not gonna lie, in amongst everything else I just wanted a really easy read, and I find Pages & Co to be a really fun, cozy, easy read, so that's why I've picked it. I know it's kind of stretching the prompt a bit, but I really wanted an easy read and this is counting for that. And now this is my Magical Readathon TBR. It doesn't look too bad now, but when you include The Maid and the Crocodile as well as the next Amari book and all of the Agatha comics and everything else, it does get a little bit hefty. It does work out though at about, I think, 132 pages a day, which feels reasonably doable, so I'm hoping that's going to work. I mean, I will swap things out if I have to and stretch prompts as far as I physically can if I need to, but yeah, I mean, it feels reasonably doable, but I do have a couple of chunkers in there, which scares me, but I mean, I've got a couple of shorter books as well, so I'm hoping it's going to work out, but we shall see. Put it that way, we shall see. And that is the end of my Magical Readathon TBR, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up. Comment down below, tell me which career path you're taking this year. I'd love to know. Or if you don't have that much time, leave me a knife emoji down below to let me know that you were here. I'll also leave a link as well down below to all of my social media if you want to check it out, including to the Comic Book Sanctum, which is my website dedicated to Marvel Comics if you want to check that out, because it's going to be filled with all things Agatha Harkness over the next couple of weeks if you are wanting to find out more about her, or if books are more your thing. I'll also leave a link as well down below to my bookish Etsy store so you can treat yourself to something bookish today. Or if you just want to see any more of my videos, please click subscribe here, and over here will be the link to my previous video. But until next time everyone, bye!